If you've been trying to get pregnant and nothing has become successful, you've probably gone to the fertility specialist by now, and you've probably done the routine checks in labs, and one of those happens to be the AMH test, the anti-mullerian hormone test. And a lot of the times, this test can leave you depressed, because if your AMH turns out low, you are led to believe that all is finished, your eggs are horrible, you can never have a baby. What else do? You have to go to donor eggs. If your AMH is low, then there's nothing else to do. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about this test. The AMH test was created in 2002 specifically to aid fertility specialists to just see if you are a good candidate for IVF stimulation. It tests how many follicles you have in your ovaries. That's what the ovarian reserve means. But it doesn't determine anything about your egg quality. You only need one really, really great golden egg. So there's a lot of misconceptions about this test. And fortunately, there's several studies that show that women with low AMH can actually increase and improve their AMH levels. And so that is backed by science. There's several ways you can do it, which I'm going to share with you right now. And so just know that this test is more for the fertility specialist than for your benefit. But anybody who is trying to get pregnant naturally with IUI or IVF always has the ability to improve their health, optimize their health, and therefore their egg quality. So studies have shown that women with low AMH, when they've done a lot of comprehensive work to rule out several of these factors, their AMH levels have shifted. I've seen it in my own patients. AMH levels do improve, but you got to do some work. So in several studies, the first thing that affects AMH levels that you can change is smoking. Now, you might be surprised, like who would smoke when you're wanting to get pregnant? Several people I've talked to, and I've had several patients that have been smokers, either socially or regular smokers. Now, when I talk about smoking, that includes smoking cigarettes, smoking marijuana, and even vaping. There's been a lot of smokers who have switched to vaping, thinking that because they're not inhaling the chemicals from the cigarettes and gone to vaping, that's going to help them reduce the addiction and therefore the craving. And that's really not the case, because vaping is a little bit more toxic, and that's just for another video. So smoking. Even if your partner is a smoker, secondhand smoke is really bad for you. So if you are inhaling it and you can smell it, it is consuming your body. You know smoking's toxic. It's toxic for every single cell in your body. But look at it this way. Smoking literally shrivels up the ovaries. So we want to do as much as we can to stop smoking. And, if you've tried before, try to find an acupuncturist. As an acupuncturist, I know we have the Nato protocol. It is several points in the ear to help reduce the cravings for the smoking, and it's helped a couple million people. So give it a shot, and there are other resources like hypnosis and other self-help type books that have helped many people. So if you're a smoker, it's food for thought. Just think about, your ovaries shriveling up if you are trying to get pregnant. The second thing that studies have shown that affects AMH levels is obesity. Now, there are several studies about obesity, and we see that women with a BMI, a body mass index of 30 and above, have lower levels of AMH. And I know in my own practice that women who are 20 to 40 pounds overweight, if they even lose those initial 15 pounds, their body changes, their body ovulates better, more in a timely fashion, and things just get moving. So we want to get into an ideal body mass index between 20 and 24, because we've seen that within fertility circles, this is where we want to be ideal, because it's not just about your weight, it's the internal organs function better so that you are creating more fertility hormones and passing along less toxins and things like that. So one of the best ways that I have seen in my practice is to make sure that you are integrating more of a whole food, plant-based diet. You don't have to go vegan or anything, but one of the best ways to do that is to make sure you are limiting your saturated fat. So, if you're thinking of intermittent fasting or keto diets or really, really high fat, high protein diets, try to limit your saturated fats and see how the weight just kind of sheds off. And if you need more support in that area, I do have a reset that can easily help you start eating for your hormones, because you need to eat for your hormones as a woman, and that will help to cleanse out the hormones from the environment or from the foods you're eating that are affecting your hormones negatively. You need to figure out how to cleanse those out every day and then reboot your system with hormone-friendly and hormone-building nutrients. So if you're curious about my reset, just let me know, and then I will personally, get you some information on that. And then the third thing is vitamin D. Women with low vitamin D levels have been shown to have low AMH levels, and low from a conventional medical point of view is 30 nanograms per milliliter. So if you're below 30, you're deficient in vitamin D. But this test is so easy to do. Go to your doctor to test once a year at a minimum, or there's plenty of online tests that you can get a hold of, very, very inexpensive, to test your vitamin D levels. Just about everybody I know is on vitamin D supplementation, but not everybody has gotten their levels tested. And you want to be very, very cautious with self-prescribing vitamin D, because it is a steroid and it helps you build up your sex hormones like progesterone and estrogen, which you need, but you just don't want to guess. So it's so easy to do and so inexpensive. I suggest getting tested. But 30 and above is the conventional range. What I like to see as a functional practitioner is between 50 to 80 nanograms per milliliter. That's optimal. So again, get tested for your vitamin D levels, because that could be making or breaking some of the progress with your follicles and your AMH serum. Now, the fourth thing, and this can be a video topic of its own, but thyroid. Women with thyroid imbalances were shown to have low AMH levels. And this makes a lot of sense, because in general, women with hypothyroidism or thyroid imbalances are shown to have 3 times more recurrent miscarriage than somebody without a thyroid imbalance. So in the studies, it showed that women with higher TSH levels, thyroid stimulating hormone, of 3 and above had lower AMH levels. Now, this is really crucial because those are conventional levels. As a functional and holistic practitioner, I want to see those levels closer to 1. So that's a big difference. So we want low TSH levels. The other thing that studies showed is women with elevated thyroid antibodies have lower AMH levels. Now this one's tricky, because a lot of these thyroid tests or hormone panels that you go to your doctor for, they don't test for thyroid antibodies. It's just not standard protocol. Sometimes you have to get referred to an endocrinologist. It is just not part of the testing. Demand it. Ask for it. If they say, oh no, we're fine with T3, T4, and TSH, it's not enough, because you can have elevated thyroid antibodies for years before your TSH, your T3, T4 show up mismanaged or imbalanced on paper, and you don't want to wait that long. So demand it from your doctor. They might be surprised. They might be telling you they don't even do it. So request a specialist, an endocrinologist. It's worth it. And so just for your own knowledge, just to know what's going on, test your thyroid antibodies, okay? Because we want those to be low so that in the future it doesn't dysregulate your thyroid, which is crucial to fertility. And another one that has had a lot of research behind it is toxins, but specifically women with high phthalate levels in their urine had lower AMH. And when this was addressed, the AMH seemed to resolve itself, aside from other things. But toxins are a huge one. If you followed me for a while, you know I talk about toxins a lot. And it's because the majority of the research is showing that these toxins, everyday toxins and toxins in our environment, do affect our reproduction first and foremost, especially the quality of your eggs. So phthalates are synthetic plastics. They mold the plastics, and they're used in things that smell good, especially perfume and candles and scented candles. So you want to make sure you are working with somebody that can help you not only eliminate the toxins from your everyday environment and stop putting them on you physically, but you also want to make sure you have a good protocol to set your body up and your lifestyle up for you to detox faster than the toxins are coming in. Because in our everyday world, they're coming. They're not going to stop. They're everywhere. But you have to have the strength and, prepare your body for, good detoxification, whether it's a food you're eating, what you're exposed to, what you're drinking, everything. So all of those, plus a little bit more, I'm sure, studies have shown that once they are addressed and we can make modifications in your lifestyle, your AMH can possibly shift. I have seen it hundreds of times, and it's completely possible. So if you've been led to believe that your AMH is really, really low and there's nothing you can do about it, these are scientific studies from the NIH and other resources that I will leave below so you can take a look, that have been studied, that have shown shifts in women with low AMH into positive outcomes. So if you want any more information on what you can do holistically from the bigger 30,000 foot level so that you can improve your egg quality and AMH levels, or whatever you've been led to believe that you can't do anymore to have a pregnancy, whether naturally or become a better candidate for IVF stimulation and actually have success in the first try, let me know and I will personally get in touch with you, and then we can discuss that a little bit further for your unique needs. Take care.